all. Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from the north. More specifically, we are in Rochester, New York. I made it back to New York. I've spent the last days hibernating after a very, very long time on the road. I came back here, came back to Rochester beginning of January of 2023, and I stayed here for about a week, and then I think it was the 8th of January, I left on the Choose My Adventure road trip, left off for a grand adventure, an adventure we did have. You know, there were some ups, some downs, traveled all the way across the country to the West Coast. A lot of fun things along the way, a lot of troubling, trying things along the way as well, but I finally made it back here near the end of March. So quite a long time on the road consecutively. But yeah, I wanted to take today to kind of talk about what is next for this channel, as well as myself. Kind of some major things happening in my personal life, some major changes coming to my personal life, and I guess because this channel is intertwined with my life, there'll be some major changes coming to this channel. There will always be travel, there will always be adventure, but I just want to talk to you guys about kind of where things are right now and where things are heading. Looking out here on the Genesee River here in downtown Rochester. Now last time I was out here, there was islands in this river. There was little birds sitting on the islands, but there apparently has been a lot of rain, maybe some melted snow. It seems like this entire country, just everywhere in this country has been raining. It was rainy in Los Angeles, it was rainy. I got rain when I went through Nevada, got rain when I was going through Utah. Just all this rain all through this country. You can see how supercharged this river is. Oh my gosh, look at the water coming down over here, and it's just crashing there over the spillway right there. I don't think I've ever seen it quite like this. So while it has been a long road trip, like I said, I've been on the road since January 8th. Just a few days ago, got back here in Rochester. In some ways, the trip I've been on has been much longer. I've pretty much been a nomadic person. I've pretty much been a nomad since December of 2021. Since December of 2021, I have been traveling. I have I've probably not been in the same city, or the same bed for more than, I would say, a week and a half, 2 weeks tops at the same time. I've come up here quite a bit to Rochester. Rochester's kind of been, if I had a primary residence, it would be here in Rochester, staying with Jen at her place. But in a lot of ways, I've just been traveling more so than I ever have before. I've been truly, like I said, truly nomadic. That's something I never really set out to be in my life. And it all kind of ties into, you know, what's been going on in my personal life. I've talked a little bit about this on the channel. I'm trying not to make it a focus on the channel. While I don't mind talking about my personal life, things going on in my personal life. I do try to keep the channel focused on the travels and the fun things, the roadside attractions, amusement parks, museums, haunted houses, and fun stuff like that. I don't mind talking about my personal life, my personal struggles. I try to be careful, you know, when it involves other people and other people's lives, people that have not had the chance to make the choice that they want to put their lives out there. But as far as, you know, where my life is going, I mentioned I've been completely nomadic since December of 2021, and a lot of that is what has been going on, you know, with my divorce, my ex-wife Christy. We were married 20 years. 20 years we were married. In 2019, we had a brief separation. We separated for a brief amount of time, and together we made the decision to reconcile at that point, and to put effort. It put a lot of effort into trying to fix our marriage, trying to save the marriage that we had. I started therapy at that time. She started therapy at that time. We went to couples therapy. So pretty much we tried everything there could, and we tried over a long period of time, probably the better part of 2 years. We did what we could to repair that marriage. And at that point, you know, we kept hitting a dead end. We kept hitting a dead end of the marriage being what both of us wanted to be. You know, the compromising of what each of us needed in a relationship, in a marriage, and we made the decision mutually together that the best option was for us to proceed with a divorce. Now in North Carolina, you have to be separated for an entire year before you can file for a divorce. So that was something that had to be taken into consideration. And you know, at the same time, you know, try to come up with an agreement that would work out for both of us. My daughter, still in high school as we speak. She'll be graduating very soon. So basically in the home stretch of high school, she'll be graduating in June. But I wanted, because Christy was the one that was, you know, that was home more often than me, because she spent more time with Annabelle than I did because of my travels. You know, we decided it was best for Christy to stay in the house to be there for Annabelle, and that you know, we basically agreed that within basically a year and a half that we would you know, have her there to figure things out, to be there at least until Annabelle goes off to college, which she has been. She's been accepted into a bunch of colleges. She's so smart, and she has her pick of what college she wants to go to at this point. So I have been, you know, it was, as far as, you know, where my home was in the meantime, I just decided, you know, this is, you know, I travel. This is what I do. I travel for a living. I travel around the country. I look for fun things. So I went, you know, full force into my job, into my travels. And you know, in some ways it really helped. You know, I was, you know, there's sadness that comes with divorce, even if you know that it's the correct decision, even if you know that it is the best option for you, for everyone. You know, there's a scariness, a loneliness that comes with that. And I kind of dug my head deep into this channel, because this channel does give me a lot of happiness. It does give me a lot of purpose. So I just traveled. You know, I did start seeing Jen in last year in 2022. We started dating, and of course, you know, there's difficulties in dating someone who travels full time, but she's been very patient with that and very understanding, because, you know, she accepts that, you know, that's who I am, that's what I do. And of course, been trying to schedule trips so that she can come out and see me while I'm on the road. That's what she did in California. Flew out and met me in Los Angeles, and then we drove down to San Diego. And yeah, then of course, you know, with the car breaking down and all that, that put I had to kind of change plans on the fly with that. Ended up kind of just hanging out in California for a few months. But like I said, I stay, you know, Jen's home is my home, but it's difficult, you know, kind of trying to travel and see things with where we're located here in Rochester. It's not an ideal place to be making road trips from. It's not an ideal place to be like kicking off from and traveling. There's, you know, there's certain places I can go. In a day I can drive into Canada and see Niagara Falls. And of course, you know, there's fun stuff everywhere. But you know, it's difficult. I'm very far away from Florida right here. You know, I'm kind of far away from even the Northeast is a little bit of a drive. And of course in the winter, this part of the country, a lot of it is shut down. So I have, like, you know, less options than I used to have as far as where I traveled. Where I lived in the mountains in North Carolina really gave me a great point to kick off from, to be able to, you know, make it to a certain place. I could drive down to Florida in 9 hours. I could drive down to Florida in a day. You could drive up to Washington, D.C. in a day. Atlanta's only 3 hours away. Nashville's only 3 hours away. I could pretty much be anywhere on the eastern coast within a day. Here in Rochester, it's not so easy. Kind of tucked up here next to Canada, and it kind of limits where I can go, what I can show in these videos. And because of that, I've not been able to spend as much time just here with Jen as I'd like to. So I've been kind of like using 3 kickoff points, and that is, you know, I'd stay here with Jen for a while. I could go to my mom's house in northern Indiana, in Valparaiso, stay there for a few days. I could drive into Chicago and show stuff. And then I could, of course, go and sleep in the extra bedroom at Christy's house, you know, and see, you know, give me a chance to visit my kids, James and Annabelle, and also give me a, you know, that's also a good kickoff point where I could travel down further south into Florida, into other southern states. So that's kind of been my way of life the past year or so. A skateboarding park right here under the overpass. See some graffiti there as well. So I got a roller skate, a slice of pizza on it. Yeah, I guess this is Rock City Skate Park. People in Rochester like to call Rochester Rock City. Get this little cat here. There's the sun. Very interesting artwork. Oh, this is interesting how oh, look at this. They have like the same scene here as over here, but it's in like a completely different art style. That's actually really, really cool. You can see the 2 figures there, touching fingers as the art style changes. So you can walk here under the overpass. Here we are on the other side of the overpass here. See, the water's more tranquil up here. We're uphill from the dam. I noticed this over here. There's like like pool stairs where you can just walk down into the Genesee River if you so wish. So while I was in San Diego and Los Angeles, I was actually working on trying to get my divorce finalized. I was having to sign legal papers, print them out, have them shipped by UPS, and man, that's a hassle. It ended up, you know, to get stuff notarized, it was like $15 a signature. I think I spent like $200 printing out paper, having it notarized, and then putting it in an envelope and mailing it back. $200 to get that situated and sent off. And then so dealing with the attorneys, you know, of course we're not fighting over anything, me and Christy. We figured everything out between the 2 of us. We just needed, you know, basically needed a lawyer to file things and sign off on everything, get things filed. So we're working through this paperwork. I didn't realize everything was situated. And Christy called me one morning and she's like, guess what? We're divorced. I was like, oh wow. I seriously thought that there was like more of a process, that I was gonna have to deal with more paperwork. But just one morning we were suddenly divorced. And so then comes, you know, finishing up how we're going to divide things. And I didn't want to talk about this on the channel until things were, you know, in a legal sense settled. But my divorce is finalized. So the plan is for me this summer, by end of summer, hopefully the plan is for me to move back into my home in North Carolina. You know, we arranged finances in a way where I agreed to give her certain things in order for her to allow me to gain sole ownership of the house. She's going to be moving out and purchasing her own house, and then I will be moving my stuff. My stuff is actually already there. I'll be moving my suitcase. It's funny, I don't really own much besides what's already in my car. But the bunker's still there where I left it, and I'll be moving back home. And I will not be alone there. One, Annabelle, even though she'll be going off to college, she will still have her bedroom there for when she comes and visits home. Of course, you know, she may spend time at her mother's house as well, but of course my children are always welcome in my home. But Jen will be moving with me to North Carolina. We'll be moving, getting her stuff together, and once everything is clear, you know, once Christy gets situated on her end and is able to move into her new home, then me and Jen will be moving in to my home in the mountains of North Carolina. So my plan, that's my plan. But as far as, you know, this channel is concerned, I will still be traveling. Like I said, I always, before back when I was married to Christy, before the divorce, you know, I always would go traveling for a week or two, film, and then come home for a week or two. So that's kind of what the plans will be, resuming once I get back to North Carolina. I'll still be able to produce plenty of content for this channel. I'll just have more of a home base once again, and Jen will be in North Carolina with me, so I won't be having to take these long trips back up to Rochester to see her. Of course, you know, we will always come back. You know, always come back to the great city of Rochester. Always come back to Niagara Falls, Canada, to see how things are going. But I'm pretty relieved. It's been a real adventure being completely nomadic, but you get weary. You get weary of the road. You desire to have a home base, a place to call your home, the ability to come back to your bed and rest. So obviously this is going to be, you know, this is just the beginning, the process of having this all come together. So we're gonna have to get Jen's stuff. You know, Jen has all her stuff. We're gonna get that loaded up and moved down to North Carolina, and that'll be. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to moving. Moving is stressful. I think moving. The last time I moved, where I moved into my house in North Carolina, that was one of the most stressful things. Just getting everything packed and moved. But I'm definitely looking forward to it. Not looking forward to getting all Jen's stuff packed up in a truck and moved, but once things will be in place, I think I will be very relieved to once again just have a home, not be homeless. You know, I'm not homeless in the traditional sense right now that you know, someone is homeless because of poverty or other reasons than that, but just because of situations, because of my job, because of, you know, other considerations for the people. I've functioned without a real home base for over a year now, and it'll be a few more months. Still kind of be on the road primarily, but yeah, I'll be settled back in to North Carolina, and that will once again be my home and my home base. So as far as immediate plans, I need to get my car back. My car is still in Columbus, Ohio. However, I have spoken with the Geico adjuster. He told me that the projected date, that's projected, it's not guaranteed, the projected date of completion is April 7th. So hopefully I will be able to go to Columbus on that date and reclaim my vehicle. And that'll be, oh gosh, it'll feel so good to be able to get back into my own car. I've been in 3 different white Nissan Rogues since then. So there's a chance, I don't know. I've been thinking about trading my car in because it's getting a lot of miles on it, but I may end up just taking my car home and maybe worrying about that later. I guess there's no rush, there's no reason I need to do that while in Columbus. Maybe just get my car for now, and then if I want to trade it in, I can look at doing that either here in Rochester or back in North Carolina. And from that point, the plan is we're going to go on a trip to Florida with my daughter Annabelle. She's gonna be on spring break. It's her last spring break before college, so I think me and Jen, we're gonna go down there. I rented a house on what you call it, VRBO, I think that's what or Airbnb. One of those. I rented a house down on a little beach vacation for a few days in Florida. No, you know, kind of wanted to do a relaxing vacation, so I don't know if there's going to be any zaniness, any theme parks or anything on this trip. You know, I'll hopefully be able to take you guys along a little bit at least and show you where we're staying, and from there I'm hoping to get back out to Colorado actually in May for Mother's Day. I wanted to go visit my mom and sister in Colorado for Mother's Day, and I think Jen was planning on going out there with me for that trip. So those are kind of the scheduled trips right now. But in the meantime, I'll be looking for fun stuff. We'll be doing a few things around this area in the next week before we go, and then yeah, from there on, we will be doing some travels, doing some fun stuff. Like I said, don't worry. No matter where I'm at, no matter where I'm based out of, the road trip never ends here on the Carpetbagger channel. So of course, summer's coming up. Theoretically, in a few months, summer's coming up, which means that amusement parks will be opening up. Actually, amusement parks start opening up around May, so we'll be doing some amusement parks, the seasonal amusement parks. Also, I kind of wanted to make this year the year of the state fair. I've been, in the previous years, I've been visiting a few state fairs every year with the goal that maybe someday I can visit all 50 state fairs. I wanted to kind of kick that into high gear this year and try to visit as many state fairs as possible within this year. Some of the state fair season begins in July. There's a couple state fairs that start in July and into August, and then September and October. So stay tuned for a lot of state fairs, and of course I'm willing to go to non-state fairs as well. You know, some counties have really huge fairs as well, so I'm willing to check out some regional fairs. And then of course, you know, there's always going to be some spooky stuff for Halloween, although I will definitely be doing haunted houses this Halloween. I do think this year though, because I want to focus on state fairs, I may be prioritizing going to state fairs over going to haunts. So there definitely will be haunts, but state fairs I think are going to be the priority this year, because really want to dig in to state fair culture and all these wonderful things that go on at state fairs. Of course, I do love hitting up all the amusement parks for their Halloween events. So I'm going to do my best to incorporate both the haunts and the fairs this year. And of course, I'm always open to suggestions. I'd love to hit maybe some more conventions this year, some more events. I kind of need to sit down and schedule that out, because it's hard, it's hard being, with as much as I've been traveling, like if there's like an event on the West Coast or East Coast, trying to be in the right place, the right time to go to the events. Of course, we have supposedly going to be a new Meow Wolf opening this year. Definitely want to check that out. A new Otherworld opening in Philadelphia. So some premieres, some new stuff popping up on the scene that I definitely want to check out. So yeah, always feel free to, in the comment section of any video, leave comments on where you want to see me go, where you want to see me visit, and I will do my best to visit as much cool, fun stuff as I can within the calendar year. Now sometimes when I am up late, editing videos, waiting for videos to process, waiting for videos to upload, sometimes I end up, going on websites like Etsy or eBay, and then I end up like in the middle of the night just ordering a bunch of stuff. And that's what I did. I don't even remember when, but I wanted to do a little unboxing here because I stumbled upon these on an Etsy page, and I really liked the look of these figures. So I figured I'd do a quick unboxing here and show you what I ordered. Let me see how these are packaged. Okay, so check these out. This is Novelties by Stex. And we've got little cryptids here. Each one is individually wrapped. I don't know if you can see, but that is a, let's go ahead and open this one. This is a Hodag. These are apparently not 3D printed. These are, if you can see that, let me zoom in. There we go. That is not 3D printed. That's a apparently hand sculpted cryptid right there. That is a little Hodag there. I noticed these. I noticed they're these solid colors. They reminded me of Moldoramas. So I ended up ordering a whole bunch of them. He made a whole bunch of different cryptids here, and they actually had come with a little explanation, a little story behind the cryptid. And I ended up ordering all the ones I really liked. There was a whole mess of them. I ordered some of my favorite cryptids here. Oh my gosh, I ordered a lot of them. I don't even remember ordering all these. So they're all in little packets. Oh, this is for a viewfinder, or a Viewmaster, I'm sorry. A Viewmaster slide. I don't know, you can see there's all different cryptids. There's little cryptids in different situations. I have my Viewmasters back in the bunker in North Carolina, so I'll have to look at these to save this for when I get back there. We have Mothman there. It's kind of a unique interpretation of Mothman there. It's got some insect-like qualities to him. There was several different Sasquatch type creatures, but I got the Folk monster. That's from the from Folk, Arkansas, the one that inspired the Legend of Boggy Creek. Here's the terrifying Wendigo, of course, a curse that turns a human into a hideous antlered monster that
craves only human flesh. There you have the squonk. I was really excited about the squonk. He's supposed to be the ugliest cryptid. He has wrinkly skin and no fur, and he just sits in the forest and cries all day because of how ugly he is. There we have the scape or lizard man. This is from Bishopville, South Carolina. I've gone out there looking for him, but I did not find him. The beast of Busco there, a giant turtle in Churubusco, Indiana. I've been out to the lake. I did not see the beast of Busco though. Another one of my all-time favorites there. The Flatwoods monster there. One of the most unique looking cryptids. Here's a cryptid I don't know a lot about, but I want to learn more. The Snallygaster, a creature from Maryland. You can see a really strange, looking almost like dragon-like beast. I know they've been talking about opening a Snallygaster museum, so I've been very interested in seeing that. It's the Loveland Frogman there, a half-man, half-frog creature from the Cincinnati area, who some accounts say he has a magic wand. The Fresno Nightcrawler. This again, one of the strangest freaking things you'll ever see. You watch that video, the videos is one of the weirdest. Just look up Fresno Nightcrawler. It's one of the weirdest things you've ever seen. I don't remember ordering this one. I don't know if this was like a bonus thrown in. This is the Pascagoula aliens. May have to do some more research on that. I guess this is in Mississippi, an alien sighting in Mississippi. I'm gonna look up the Pascagoula aliens. So yeah, these are pretty fun. Again, I got them because they kind of resemble Moldoramas. They're a little bit smaller than Moldoramas, but I'll have to find somewhere to display these in the bunker. That's the thing about the bunker too, is now that, before, that was kind of my area in the house. Now maybe, maybe the whole house will become the bunker. We'll see. Now I have saved up stuff in the year and a half that I've been on the road that needs to find a place now that I'm finally going to have a permanent residence. I really want all my viewers out there to know that I truly appreciate you guys' support. When my car broke down, when my car got rear-ended, when I had rental car problems, all you guys were right there with me and showed your support and positivity, and it means the world to me. And I'm inviting you guys to come along with me on these new adventures. This year is going to be a lot of changes, like I talked about in this video, and I promise to keep bringing you interesting and fun videos, and hopefully you guys enjoy what I'm putting out here, and hopefully you come along with me as I start this new chapter of my life. It's change. Good things can come from change. It was. No divorce is wrong. No divorce is completely easy. Me and Christy were able to do things in a very civil manner. We didn't have to fight. We didn't have to get nasty. We didn't fight over anything in court. But it still is a stressful situation. When you've built up this life together, when you own things together, trying to get those things separated, trying to get everything divided, trying to get it so you make it so you can both move on. It's a process, and it's not I can't even imagine like people going through like divorces where there's actual fighting. It just seems like it's the absolute worst thing in the world. Fortunately, I was given a very positive example. My parents got divorced when I was very young, and they were able to give me a very, they always got along. They always communicated for my sake and made sure that, I got to spend time with both my parents. And, I grew up just, not seeing any reason why things couldn't be that way. So, they're the good example that they gave me helped out in this divorce. And I'm excited. I'm excited about creating this new normal. Things have been going through the pandemic, then going through the divorce, and being on the road all year long for over a year. It's everything has been up in the air. So I'm really excited to go back to having a home base, a home of my own. And like I said, I will be based, in a central location on the eastern United States. I'll be able to travel all over the East Coast. And of course, I will make regular trips to the West Coast as well, because there's still a lot to explore out there. And at some point, I am going to try to get to Alaska and Hawaii. I know that I want to have completed the 50 states. And once I get more, once I get more of a stable base, I think it'll be easier to plan those trips. But thank you guys so much for continuing to come along with these videos. Thank you so much for your support. Those who support me on Patreon, that means the world to me. For those of you who have purchased pins, it helps out. And I've had so much fun making personalized videos on Cameo. It's been a new experience. It's been a lot of fun being able to personalize messages for people. If you're interested in any of those things, you can check them out in the description of this video. And of course, all that helps keep this train on the track. By the way, I do want to go on a train trip. I'm starting to look more into the train trips that they offer around the country, and I'm hoping to do one. I'd like to do one this year if I can. It also helps keep this boat on the water, which at some point I do want to try to do a cruise. I'm reluctant. Maybe a cruise to Alaska, I think, might be something that could come together. I don't think they do cruises to Hawaii. And someday I'll ride a dirigible. High in the air. Till next time, my friends. This one's in the bag.